I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, AfterBuzzers, to the Siren After Show. It's episode 6. It's getting super juicy. There's so much to talk about. Today, we're going to be breaking down Maddie and Rob, Ted looking for answers, the fight between the tribes that's going on right now. We have our special segment, Mermaid Wonders. I'm your host, Karla, and I definitely couldn't do this alone. Hi, N'adja. How are you, girl?
Hey, Karla. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing so good. Loving the weather. Quarantine is going by smoothly. Hope everyone is doing good, staying safe. Let's just jump right into this episode. Before we dive deep into it, what are some of your overall thoughts?
Okay, so the beginning, I was nervous. And then towards the end, of course, we're all going to be shocked. That was like my initial reaction. And then just kind of angry because I'm just like, more killing people, like, of course, typical.
Yeah, definitely. It was so crazy. I feel like there's so much that went on. I didn't think the show would be like this graphic, but I mean, it's kind of been like that the whole time. I don't know, like how I feel. I'm like, who's stronger at this point? Rin, Tia. There's just so much going on.
Right.
But let's just jump right into it. We have Maddie and Rob. So this is a complete like turn of events at the end of the episode, but we'll start off at the beginning. It starts off at the warehouse and they're still talking about the fridge. Maddie completely lies about it and says, we found this in the ocean. We're doing our own research on it. And he's kind of insisting on taking it to like a research center to get more answers. And she's like, no, we don't want to do that. And then they go back to her house. He's asking more questions.
Right.
And it's just, and then she kind of turns him down. Why do you feel like she gave him more answers than maybe she should have?
Okay, so she really did give him a lot of answers that she probably shouldn't have. And I'm just like, how do you trust somebody that you just met? And I'm just like, maybe it's the vibe he's giving her to make her feel welcomed and everything. And I'm just like, Maddie, you're being too gullible. Girl, do not let him all up in your business. Way too much going on, okay?
That's exactly how I felt. I kind of caught the vibe when they were at her house. She kind of shut him up and was like, no, I don't want to keep talking about this. And I think she noticed him kind of pulling back and maybe being like, whoa, what's up with this girl? I truly think she told him as a means to not let him slip away. Kind of being like, I trust you. I'm going to give you some information because I care about you.
Yes, but then it's just like, that's way too much information for you to give him because, girl, you don't even really know him like that to be telling him a very big secret that you don't know if he might tell people or actually even sneak back and try and get it himself and do whatever with it.
Yeah, and then so they start off then after the apartment they move over to the cave where she's showing him like the language on the walls and stuff, and he says, I really don't care about all this. I'm just glad that you trust me. Do you believe that he doesn't care?
No, because I feel like he just wants to be let in. So I think he does care about what's going on. That's why he's being so nosy and so adamant about knowing about mermaids. And he even brought up the thing about it even possibly being a mermaid to her. So I'm just like, so now you think it's mermaids and now you're trying to get the scoop on it.
Would you say that he's a friend or a foe in this situation, considering what happened at the end?
Okay. I would say he's a foe. Most definitely a foe. Just trying to get in where he fits in and see what's going on with all of them, in all honesty. Since we know at the end of the episode that he probably really is a foe.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
Just go with that.
I think it's super crazy. So I was kind of going through our comments from other weeks, and Rock N'adja actually left a comment just a couple hours ago saying, I knew the water science guy was going to be a merman. So I think that's so crazy. They predicted it.
They predicted it.
I know, like that's so crazy. I did not see that coming at all. So that kind of just that makes me kind of feel like more negatively toward him, just because when they were at the cave, he
Right.
had to have known exactly what he was looking at, what that was. So the
He
fact that he
definitely
played it
knew
off
already.
so well is suspicious behavior.
And I'm just like, did he know about Maddie and Ren in Crystal Cove before even coming there? And he just
Exactly.
decided to like befriend them or befriend Maddie and hook up with her, I guess. Like, so many more questions that I have, and I'm just like, I need answers.
I feel like he definitely had to have done his research before he showed up at Crystal Cove. There's no way he just randomly ended up there and now he's finding all of these things.
Right.
He definitely did his research, which makes me just it gives me the creeps. I feel like next episode for sure we'll have to see more, but for now it's crazy. I mean, the way Rin reacted, there's no way he is a friendly person. If she was, she wouldn't have reacted that way.
Right. And I'm just like, how did she know? Like, how did she know
I
he's from the
know.
water? Because he was like so perfectly human, and I'm just like, so it's another one that's like you guys, that's just like that. That's crazy.
It's crazy because we see Tia, who's like super advanced, super human, and now we see
Right.
Rob, who is like, I mean, with Tia, you can kind of see like some odd characteristics and like how she behaves, but with Rob, he seems so normal. It's
Real normal.
Yeah. I kind of wish we had like Rin senses so we can like spot a hater from like a mile away.
Right? Right.
That would
She
be
spots
so
him from,
amazing.
and she was like so mad. I was like, get him, Ren.
Get him, girl. Yeah, it was crazy. Then in this episode, we also see Ben's dad a lot. So he moves from scene to scene, just kind of really continuing to look for answers. And his reason is that he wants to manage a situation, or at least that's what he tells Xander. Do you believe that that's his real reason for wanting to find out more about these mermaids?
So for me, it's like a yes and a no, because I feel like he just wants to figure out exactly what's going on in his town. Then another part of him, when he finds out like the bad side, he kind of wants to control it and stop it immediately. So it's like he wants answers, but then he wants to stop it at the same time. That's the vibe I'm kind of getting from him.
Me too, actually. And they brought up an interesting point in this episode. They kind of mentioned Rick, which is someone we see later in the episode, actually mentions like he wants to keep the secret. He doesn't want this to get out because of the history the Pownals have with these mermaids. Like there's a tale that they massacred all of them. So I don't know if he's saying that because that's what maybe Rick wanted to hear, but I definitely think I don't have a good feeling about it. But
Me either. Me either.
Yeah. Do you think that he's putting himself in danger in looking for all of these answers?
I mean, when he went out into the water, I feel like he put himself in danger, but since he's like back in Bristol Cove trying to figure out all the answers, not so much unless some mermaid people come looking for him, which they probably are. So maybe yes, he is in danger.
Yeah, that's what
Let me change it. Let me change it up. Yes, he actually is in danger. Thinking about it.
I think it's like one of those situations where he's like out look it's like when you're out looking for answers and you end up finding so much more than you anticipated, and it's not necessarily a good thing. Like, you know, some things are better just left in the dark. And I feel like that's one of those situations. Another reason that it really, really worries me is because of how many hybrids are actually out in the real world. I was never aware.
Right.
So we see, okay, so the lady that controls the ranch, the blonde with the short hair, her name is actually Beth.
Okay.
She ends up getting the call. She says, oh yes, we have people working all sorts of jobs, so we always have an inside scoop. Did that surprise you?
It kind of did, but I kind of figured that they would, just so they knew exactly what was going on and what could be going down. And I think that's good on their part to have like every one of them in the area so they know exactly what's happening.
I never really like kind of took into consideration. So they brought up in this episode of how they have been in hiding for at least 100 years. That clearly has to take like so much skill and like being quiet and like being super safe. So when they mention like, oh, we have people working all sorts of jobs to you know, have an inside scoop on everything that goes on, that makes so much sense. Like they're so advanced
Yes.
and smart and keeping their secrets that I'm like, I never just thought about that. I just kind of felt like, oh, they have a secret society, no one knows, but they're super smart and tactical about the way they're maneuvering. So kudos to
They
them.
are, right? I
Yeah. So
commend
we'll have
them
to,
for all their acts.
yeah, definitely. And Beth is when she heard about Ted coming to see Rick at the restaurant, she took action right away and she bought cameras, drones, and guns to stay safe. So I definitely think they don't anticipate this going well. Scared.
You know, I'm a little scared too because now that he knows that, now that Ted knows that they are there and that they meet up on certain days, I feel like he's kind of gonna go down there or something to see for himself. And then it's just
I
gonna go
think
all bad.
yeah, I think maybe they'll put like a tail on Ted, to try to like monitor him and make sure he's not finding out too much. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. In this episode, we also see, so at the beginning of the episode, it starts off with Rin underwater and she's finding some of her tribe members dead. And it really shocked me how quickly everything has escalated. It seems like Mia is like taking over territory a lot quicker than I expected. And then she kind of ends up putting two and two together, and she ends up finding a bunch of her tribe members on an island where they're hiding. And then she brings Ben into it, and then he brings Xander into it. As they were taking the boat onto the island to the other members to rescue them, I felt so bad for Xander again. I'm like, here he goes being dragged into this. Like, leave him alone. Like, he lives such a normal life. He's gonna be a best man. He's trying to be in the academy. Um, Before, as they were approaching the island, do you feel like Xander was cut out for a fight like the one they took on?
No, and I knew he was nervous when he started asking Rin. He was just like, "So she's like after you guys, huh?" And basically asking like, "So she's gonna kill anybody that stands in her way." And I was just like, "Oh, poor Xander, like he's getting mixed up in this mess and he might die." I was scared that two of them were gonna die, and I was just gonna be like, "Well, there goes that. Now who's gonna help them?" But I'm glad none of them died and that they actually got away.
Definitely. I feel like there's no, I think, real way that humans could fight off mermaids. Like, they're so strong, like so much stronger. And it actually makes me think, like, not that I agree with what Ben is doing with like kind of injecting himself with this cells, but he was clearly able to fight them and he actually overpowered one of the males. I When I saw Xan in that situation, I was like, there's no way he's coming out of this. I mean, Cammy ended up saving him at the end, but he's not like them. I feel like without a weapon, like
Right.
there's no way he can really fight them. So he's like the best friend you can possibly have because he rides with you.
He is, and I'm just like, how could you put your friend, knowing that you've taken these injections into your body and you're putting him into a situation where he could possibly die? Like, how would you feel if something was to
Exactly.
actually happen to him and then you leave him with the mermaids that are kind of unguarded and he's the only one who has a weapon, and then you're off with Ren and you guys are in the woods and everything. I was just like, that's messed up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was super messed up. And then kind of when they're going onto the boat, he kind of mentions like, why can't you ever just invite me out to brunch or something?
I thought that
It's
was funny.
Me too. I'm like, and he's so right. Like they're just playing him, like hang out with him, have like a normal like bromance. You don't need to be putting his life in danger all the
Right.
time. But it
Definitely
ended
have
up
a normal
working
life,
out.
guys.
Seriously. As these fights are going on, we lose a few of members on both tribes. It was definitely sad to watch when all the spears are flying. And I was like, okay, this is gonna go south. This is
They
not
were
gonna end
going
well.
really fast. I was like, "Ooh, that's gonna, like, be painful," at how
Yeah, it
fast
was
it was going.
Yeah, and then when Rin was fighting Katrina, that is insane. I felt so bad because I feel like Rin really didn't want to be doing that. Like she didn't want to be fighting someone who she considered family. After watching this episode, do you feel like Rin is too weak to be a leader? Because Katrina tells her that. She's like, there's no way you can ever be a leader. You're too weak. You're too human. What are your thoughts? Do you agree?
Ooh, she is getting kinda weak because 'cause she's been around the humans a little too much. But I feel like that's a good thing and a bad thing. A bad thing to be in the water, but a good thing if she's going to like be around the humans. But she needs to kind of have both and weigh them out and have them both be the same thing
Were you
or have
do
them
you think
coexist.
that it was smart of her to try and spare Katrina's life?
No. I was like, well, she traded and then she killed some of your guys' people too. So she's not family anymore. You might as well just kill her. Why are you trying to save her? She already did you dirty. So if you try and save her again and then she does you dirty now, you look stupid. I was just like, just let her
Yes.
go.
That moment where she was giving her the talk saying like, it doesn't have to be like this. I don't have to kill you. You can come back with me was the moment where I thought Katrina's right. You may be too weak to be a leader. No smart
Right.
leader would be like, you just try to kill me. You actually gave your new leader, Tia, all of the information on our tribe where we hide. So we're not safe anywhere anymore. And you want to bring this person back in. Like, girl.
I'm like, if you don't get out of here with that mess, I'm like, she needs to like, you just need to let her go. Just
Like
kill her right
she's
now.
yeah, she stabbed you in the back and now you want her to stab you in the front too? Like, no. One
Right.
time is
And I was
enough.
just like, I was like, Katrina's gonna like pretend that she wants to come back and then actually end up killing her. And that's what I was afraid of. I was like, you're trying to be too nice right here. This is not the moment or the time to be doing that.
Well, and while she's giving her this talk, then we see the turn of events happen. Katrina kills herself. Why do you think she did that?
I don't know. I was just like, maybe she's a diehard part of Tia's tribe now. She feels welcome back into her family. I was like, I didn't expect her to kill herself though. I thought Ren was gonna have to do it, but then she just like slit her throat, and I was just like, oh my god, did she really just do that?
I thought the same way. A part of me felt like, okay, she's either die hard for Tia, and that's the way if she's gonna go down, she wants to go down. Or I thought maybe she realized, like, okay, because Rin told her, like, you're not gonna kill me. I'm stronger than you. Like, I taught you how to fight. And then Rin ended up knocking her down, and she couldn't get back up again. Because if she could, she would have just gotten up and fought her again. So I think maybe it was her way of being like, okay, I lost. I'm just gonna go out like by taking myself out like the best way possible. I thought she kind of knew she wasn't gonna win, and she'd rather kill herself than have Rin kill her. That's how I kind of took it. But it definitely was crazy. I
I
was
agree with
like,
that too.
girl, get up and run,
I
please.
agree.
Do something. Don't let yourself just die.
No, she was kind of just sitting there like, okay, well if it's gonna happen, then it's gonna happen right now.
Yeah, we I felt bad for Rin when because I don't think she wanted to see that happen, but there was definitely no other way around that. Once they leave the island, they all manage to get back on the boat, and you see Rin afraid, and she admits it to Ben. She says, "I'm afraid of Tia. I'm afraid of what she can do." Clearly, she's
Shoot, I
done
am
so
too.
much. Yes, she's done so much damage already. Do you think that Tia is afraid of Rin?
No, I don't. I
Oh my
actually don't
God.
think she's a French friend. Like, I feel like she knows that she can beat her. That's why she's giving her the opportunity to come to her side before she does end up having to die, if that does happen. But
I kind of feel like a part of her has to be afraid of her. Like, Rin came onto the island. It was Katrina and six other members that fought Rin and
mhm,
her tribe, and some were already injured. She took quite a few members out, and she managed to get away. How is that possible? So I think a
that's
part of her
true.
knows that maybe with the help of humans she can be more powerful, or she's just maybe underestimating her strength. But I definitely think Tia has to be a little afraid of her because getting off that island, I don't think she anticipated Rin to leave. I think she planned to kill them all.
Wait, so do you think that Tia was already like on the island too
Oh
while they were
yeah.
all there? Yeah,
Yeah,
like where though?
well, they came from the way it looked on the show. It looked like they were like toward the back of it, and then they threw the spears kind of lower. Um, I definitely don't think she anticipated having Rin leave alive. Um, which I think is what maybe makes her think like, okay, she can outsmart me. I need to be on top of her. How can I get her? which then leads to one of Rin's tribe members resurrecting. I was like, girl, what is this?
Yes, I was like,
How do
God dang it. I was like, they probably should have went back for her, because if they would have known that she was gonna like pop back alive, that would have been
how do
nice
you
to have her still there on
how do
her
you have
team.
like that crazy like spear go through your stomach and you're gonna resurrect out of nowhere? Like it was so weird.
I was just like, is she healing herself from the inside? Is that happening? Because
Oh,
it was
you're
like a big
right.
breath. She had a big
Yeah,
breath
that's
too.
true. And well, I'm gonna assume, like, let's say we've seen Ben, with the gash that it healed itself. Maybe like the mermaids clearly
Oh,
have healing powers. So maybe if like the spear didn't go like through enough, she was able to heal over time, and that's when she woke up.
mm,
But then
that's a possibility.
we see Tia spare her life, and she says like, "You can live if you're loyal to me." And I was like, "Girl, you're acting like Rin right now. No." Like you
Right.
really think this girl is gonna be completely loyal to you, and she makes her kind of prove to her that she is. And the mermaid, I wish I caught her name but I didn't, gives
Hunter.
her the Hunter.
Her name's
that
Hunter. Hmm.
that okay, so Hunter ends up giving her the information that Rin has a baby. I mean, I know
I was
she wanted
like,
to stay
dirty. Okay. I thought that was so dirty.
yes, a part of me thinks like, you should have let yourself, like, I don't know, is it bad to say you should have let herself die? Like,
No, because I thought the same thing. I feel like she should have just, that's like dying with honor, you know? You don't,
yes,
because the baby was
yes,
supposed to be something for your tribe. And now, because you want to
for the
like live
future.
all of a sudden, yes, and for the future now, because she wants to live all of a sudden and doesn't want to die in front of everyone, I'm guessing. You want to rat out that she has a baby, which is the most important thing to her. You can just said they was on land or something and that you knew where they were going, but not the baby.
Yes, I agree. Like, first of all, babies, you can't, they're like off limits. But I feel like I've seen too many
Right.
like money laundering narc movies to know that, you're supposed to take the beating. You don't talk, okay? You don't talk.
Exactly. I was thinking that same thing. I'm like, and now she want to sit here and spill the beans. Like, are you afraid? Just girl, just go in honor. Just die in honor, and you'll be lived on forever.
Or not even that, but like let's say in like money laundering narc shows, even when you tell like the secret, they still kill you after. So it's not like you really got anything out of it. So we'll have to see if she
Right.
actually ends up living. If she like fully lives and they let her be a part of the tribe, then okay, maybe it was worth it. I still don't agree with the choice, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Do you want to get into your special segment, Mermaid Wonders?
Yes, we can. Okay. So, guys, introducing you to the segment Mermaid Wonders. Last week we did sirens, and I kind of want to keep with the sirens and like go a little deeper into it and talk about how people
Yes.
see them in modern times, because as we know that sirens are something they they sing and they can be aggressive. And so now in this episode we're kind of starting to see them be a little more aggressive than what we thought. So I'm going to read from something in my notes.
Did you ever know about mermaid tribes before this show? I'm learning so much about mermaids now.
No, I didn't. I feel like I know so much and I'm fascinated, fascinated by literally everything.
I want to see a real
Mm,
mermaid one day. That's like a goal.
me too. Me too. Even if it's just like bones or something, I kind of just want to see that too.
Now that we've seen, like, have you seen that UFO video that's going around? So if aliens exist, mermaids have to exist. Okay.
Oh yeah, all of them. Literally all of them. Okay. So it says mermaids and sirens represent a very important parts of pirate mythos. During the golden age of the piracy, mermaid sightings reached their peak and many stories about them entered into the folklore of Central America. Also, they are the traditional types of mermaids are like the ones in the sea, the skin mermaids, which I don't really know what that means, but maybe they're like skinwalkers. Who knows? And then shedding mermaids that can walk on land for short periods of time, most common in the Irish folklore. So I want to call the sirens kind of like skin shedding mermaids just because they walk around naked. And then it also says that mermaids always like walk around naked, and you kind of see that too. Like they're always naked and they don't have clothes. They only started wearing clothes when they seen that humans wear clothes, so then they're trying to be like humans too.
That's so funny. I actually was when Rin found them on the island, they were all naked. I thought it was like so odd, and I had to, because I'm so used to seeing Rin in clothes. Totally forgot that they come out of the water naked every time. Like that's so awkward.
It is, and I'm just like, how you guys just walking around naked in front of everybody? But that's how, because they're naked in water too, I guess you can say. They don't wear clothes.
They shed their tails when they come out.
Yeah, and get legs.
Yes. Well, any more on the sirens, or was that all? Sorry, I cut you off a little bit.
No, that's fine.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for them.
thank
I want to save the
you.
rest for next week.
Awesome. Well, I mean, so much happened. What do you think is going to happen next week? What do you predict is going to happen?
So what I predict is, so Ben, he is going to continue taking these stem cells and he's going to enhance more and more to the point where he's going to, like I said last week, like go into the water. So I think that we're going to see that on the next episode. And also, I think Tia's tribe, they're either going to try to go find the men in the water and get the baby.
Yes.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but I kind of have a feeling that that's going to happen sooner
Yeah,
or later.
I for sure agree with that. I think the baby's going to be a way to get close to Rin and obviously harm her in one way or another.
Right.
I also think this is kind of like a wild guess, but I also think now
I'm
that
here for it.
Maddie, I also think now that Maddie knows about the body and Ben finally admitted to doing the treatments, I think he's gonna talk her into doing them as well, and they're all gonna like be mermaids together.
Oh my goodness.
I also
That's
think
wild, but I kind of feel that too. Like I think so
yes,
too.
they have like the whole little threesome going. I doubt like with
Yeah,
Ben
it's gonna
getting
be
these
a
powers.
foursome.
Yeah, well,
It's gonna be a
yes, now
foursome.
it is. I also think that Rob is not who he says he is. I don't think he actually wants like, a relationship with Maddie. I just think maybe he wants to know what humans really know about them.
Mhm.
But we'll have to
Same.
wait and see, I guess. Until next week, where can everyone find you?
Everyone can find me on Instagram at N'adja, N-A-D-J, 4 E's with an underscore, and also on Twitter at Someone Say N'adja. And you guys can also catch me on Mondays at 4 p.m. on the Run After Show. You guys want to catch that out? And that's all.
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram at Karla Contreras. And I also do Shaws of Sunset. Next week is the finale. So make sure to tune in on Tuesday. Until next week, see y'all later.